Welcome to the Lawyer, Money, and You. I'm Roberta Saphire, an attorney in Sharon, and Camille is not with us tonight, except in spirit. She's on an important assignment, but this is a public service announcement with the Sharon Police Department. We have as a guest Tilden Kaufman, long time in the Sharon Police Department, even though he looks very young. Welcome, Tilden.
Thank you.
We want to do a public service announcement on a very important issue, cyberbullying. Can you tell me, do you get calls for cyberbullying?
On occasion, we do come across it. With the advent of computers and Facebook and Twitter and all the social media outlets, it's become quite common. Actually, cyberbullying is usually done over the internet. And unfortunately, people, and it's usually kids, usually of kids' age, usually will say and do things that upset other kids.
And they probably call the police and say, oh, you know, there's cyberbullying. What advice do you give them? Or is there something, isn't there a school resource officer? Well, how does that fit in?
Yes, generally when we get the call, if we receive it directly at the police station, we'll send an officer out to respond and take the facts. If we think it's something that's involving the school, say one kid cyberbullies another kid in a Sharon school, we will assign it to the school resource officer, who will usually investigate it at that level, at the school level.
Now, in my day, I never heard of school resource officers, but we want the public to know that there are school resource officers. What do they do?
Yes, we actually have one, Michael Hawking. He's been a school resource officer, I would say, probably, I'm guessing 10 years. I'm not 100% sure on the years at this point. Probably 10-ish years. He's in the schools Monday through Friday. He bases out of the high school, but he shows up at the other schools and checks in and says hello and teaches classes, walks around, mixes with the kids. The kids talk to him. The kids generally have a great relationship with him. He does pretty much, he's a jack of all trades. At the beginning, it was more experimental as to how everything was going to work out. He has integrated himself into the schools like he's one of the instructors, basically one of the teachers.
Is this started because from other districts, other states? I mean, how did this happen to come about?
Yes, other agencies. It used to be a lot of towns used to do the DARE program. I would say this is an expansion of the DARE program.
D-A-R-E?
D-A-R-E, Drug Abuse Resistance Education.
Oh yes, I heard
So
that.
I would say I guess you could say it spawned off of that. But he's in the school Monday through Friday. He has an office in the school. He teaches classes. He helps kids.
What kind of classes?
He will teach like what not to do, what to do, criminal justice type, safety type classes. He may help teachers with certain problems they're having.
Isn't that wonderful? That's wonderful.
It really is. It's really, I would say it's fluid what he does there. He could go in on any given day to the middle school and give an assembly on cyberbullying or drug use or resources kids have, internet safety, stuff like that.
Do they start the prevention of cyberbullying, prevention of violence, do they start that in the middle school or even earlier?
I can tell you that in the middle school, they have an assembly every year, and usually it's in September at the beginning of the year, and they talk about cyberbullying, internet safety, those types of things. Every school system, and again, I'm sorry I don't know all the details, every school system is required to have a cyberbullying policy.
That's fascinating. So the parents should know that. How do the parents know that? Do they know it by slips sent home, or they just get to know it?
If there's an issue, you mean?
No, I mean that there is a school resource officer, that there is
It would probably be in the student handbook.
Oh, they have student handbooks.
Yeah, I know the high school does. The other thing, too, is the schools are very much on top of Twitter and letting the parents know through emails what they have in place.
Now you know the Lawyer, Money, and You, along with a lot of communities, have a Credit for Life fair. You know, it's financial literacy. Mm-hmm. So those are the big issues, financial literacy and prevention of violence. And they usually have a prevention of violence booth at these fairs. And that's just over the last 10 years. But what's interesting, you said the school resource officer is over the last 10 years, yet I don't think cyberbullying is just recent.
It's really started to come out more over the past 3 or 4 years. Again, if you think back, we didn't have computers, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have means to communicate instantly and hide behind. The difference with cyberbullying is you can sit in your house and punch a button and hide behind what you're saying to someone. And we may not even be sure who's sending it or there's different ways to hide, whereas bullying, if you think about it in its natural state, is somebody doing it right to your face or right in front of you. Cyberbullying's harder to deal with because there's so many variations in how you can use the internet. There may be chat rooms, there may be groups that could team up on someone and target the person just to make them upset.
So they got to start early to
Yes.
educate the kids. Now, one last thing I wanted to talk about, that there's a junior cadet academy.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because maybe other people out there like me haven't heard about this.
That was something that was started, I want to say 7 or 8 years ago. Then Lieutenant McGrath, who got promoted to deputy chief, I wound up getting his job. He initiated it, again, 7 or 8 years ago. And every year, and it's usually in May, the 16 to 20 middle school kids that get chosen out of applications, and they experience basically a two-day police academy at our station. With Officer Hawking, our school resource officer, he oversees it. We bring in other agencies, we bring in other police officers. They get to see how we operate in the station. They see the booking process. They see drunk driving car stops. At one time, we even had the state police helicopter come in and land in the back lot. And
Did they get to go on a ride?
They didn't.
No?
Not at that time. But for 2 days, they get to do things. They go to the range and see how we qualify, see how we shoot. So
They don't shoot.
They don't shoot. Generally, no.
So that they gain a respect.
Yes.
They gain a respect. So how many applications do you get each year?
We've had in excess of 80. In excess of 80, and then we talk to the teachers. Actually, Mike Hawking, our SRO, talks to the teachers and picks out the kids that write the best reason why, and the ones that we think actually might want to even do a career in law enforcement.
That is wonderful, and they gain a respect for police officers. Yes. Now, another question is, at the Junior Cadet Academy, is it for boys and girls?
Yes, it's boys and girls.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yes.
So this is good. We covered the Junior Cadet Academy. The last question is this common throughout the United States?
Cyberbullying?
No, I mean these programs. There's Sharon, like a resource officer, and programs. I know cyberbullying. I know in Arizona they start when they're little. They put little signs. This is good. This is not good. Before they even realize what's.
Unfortunately, just to touch on cyberbullying quick, all you have to do is Google it, and it will come up all over. It's everywhere. Unfortunately, it's pretty rampant. As far as the SROs, most departments in this area have a school resource officer. Usually what it comes down to is funding, because it's actually taking one of our people and taking them off the road and putting them into the schools.
So who pays for that?
The school department pays for a heavy portion of it in Sharon. We help them out, but they've been funding it for quite a while now.
That's fantastic. Yes. So you there's the police budget, and the people don't realize that there's budgets for this and budgets for that.
Right.
But I think we've brought a lot of interesting facts out, and that's just a little of what you do. We got all kinds.
Right.
We did public service announcements about the ATM machines and watch out for this and watch out for that.
Yep.
But this program right now, this is on our youth, which is our future.
I would just say too, if people can take a look at the Sharon Police Department Facebook page or the Sharon Police Department website, there are links to what we do. There are links to how to deal with cyberbullying for parents and for kids. There are links to what our school resource officer does. It's not enough time to sit here and talk. People should take a look at that.
In every town, even if they're not in Sharon, the police station must have their own website.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
they probably do that. Well, I think that's a wrap. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Camille thanks you too. And as Camille would say, remember, send us your emails. This is how we know. And remember, this is your show. The law, your money, and you.